Hi friends, welcome to Tiny Art Mini Polaroid Magnet Tiles. You should have received all of your supplies in your packet. The only additional item you might be needing today would be a pair of scissors to trim down your photos. And of course, you're going to need your photos. Those can be actual photographs that you've had printed on photo paper, or they can actually be something that was printed out on your computer on your regular computer paper. Whichever you have is wonderful. They can be images of your friends, your pets, or they can be just objects that you like, nature, animals, that type of thing. So whatever you prefer is great. So this is what our finished product is going to look like. They look like Polaroid photos, and some of you may not even know what that is, but Polaroid cameras are a lot of fun, and typically they have a little more white space on the bottom with the image. So that's kind of the look that we're going for. So our first step today is to take your little glass tile and one of your magnets. These already have the sticky on back, so it makes it so much more convenient for us. Go ahead and peel that sticky back off of your magnet, and on the bumpy side of your glass tile, that's where we want to adhere that magnet. So go ahead and place this in the center of the bumpy side of your magnet tile and push down for just a little bit so it's nice and secure. And then you have the start of your project. So we're going to put that off to the side. The next step is going to be to take your instruction paper that has your little templates on the bottom. So what you're going to want to do is to cut around one of those templates. So go ahead and cut out that rectangle. And this is a size that is pretty close to the size that you are going to need for your project today. You can make it a little bit smaller if you wish, so you can kind of judge. But I just wanted to give everybody a nice starting point so you had a good idea what size of picture you were going to need to make it a little simpler for you. After you have that cut out, you can take one of your pictures, and I selected some things like polar bears, a sloth, I have a llama. So this is my little printout. So I'm going to put my template over the top of it so I can get a good idea where I want to trim down my photo. So I'm going to do this and then trim around the edges to give us our finished size and product. And then that way I'm going to have that photo just the right size to adhere to my tile. And so I'll take that template off, and here is the little photo that I need in exactly the right size to fit on top of my tile. With this next step, I'm going to show you from the front what I'm going to do, and then I think I'm going to move the camera around so you can see from above so you have an idea how I'm doing this, but it's relatively simple. I think you should be able to figure out. You're going to want a piece of paper on your work surface so you don't get the Mod Podge on your tabletop. Mod Podge is a little smelly, and it does adhere on about any surface, so you're not going to want to get it on your mom's good table. So get your Mod Podge out, go ahead and open that up, and our first step is going to be to take a little bit of Mod Podge, and we're going to paint the top of our tile with this. It's basically a glue if you haven't used it before. So you just want to cover your surface, paint that on, and then take your photo. And remember that I mentioned the Polaroid photos are more towards the top, leaving a wider band on the bottom. If you want a traditional, if you don't like that look, you can do it any way you want and just make some regular magnets. So I'm going to position that picture up towards the top of my tile. And then using the back of my paintbrush, I'm going to kind of tap down the corners because I don't want to really get this on my fingers until it sticks down well and gets positioned. After I have it where I'd like to have it located, the next step is to take a little more Mod Podge and paint over the top of this. And it's going to look kind of funny because you can't see through it all the way right now, but it does dry clear. So we're going to paint that on. And the next step, this is kind of what it looks like. You can't see it really well from that far away, but we're just gonna let it dry. And after it dries for a while, it'll dry clear, and then it'll be a magnet ready for you to use. So I'm gonna set that off to the side. While I'm thinking about it, before we switch the camera views, do know that you can use a variety of different tiles in different sizes. So you could replicate the same program, but using a larger tile that they have at Menards, Builders, etc. And you can put some felt backing on it. You can make some really cool coasters with people's photographs or images on it. So lots that you could do. You could put cork on the bottom as well, and just make some really fun coasters for your bedroom or for your house. They make great gifts for grandparents. Lots of fun. Your Mod Podge that we sent you will go a long way, so you can do a lot of work. If you're interested in these particular glass tiles, I did purchase these off of Etsy, and they sold them in 1 pound packages, and I think there's several sites that were available for a 1 inch by 1 inch square glass tile. So we're going to go ahead and start working on the next magnet. Same process. Take that glass tile, flip it upside down so you have the bumpy on top. Peel that backing off of your magnet, and we're going to stick it on in the middle, hopefully here. It's not wanting to come off for me. And we'll get that part ready, and I will show you the next steps from above so you can kind of see what I'm working on. So with our next step, I have a photo of a sloth that I'm going to use. I did cut out another section of template, so I'm going to pick that up and layer it over my sloth photo, and then just trim around that area to get it the size that we are needing for our magnet. And so just kind of trimming that off, and we'll brush those scraps away so you can kind of see the picture of the sloth that I have. Oops. After that, we're going to go ahead and paint the top of that tile with our Mod Podge to coat it. It doesn't need to be overly thick, just kind of on the thin side. Take your photo and place it on your tile where you want it. And again, we talked about how Polaroid photo has a little more white space at the bottom. I'm going to use the back of my brush to tap the photo down. And then I'm going to add some more Mod Podge over the top of that. And that will seal it, and it will keep it nice and shiny for you, and we'll be all set to have some pretty awesome magnets. So again, you can use any type of photo, whether photo paper or the actual computer paper. You can see that the llama that I did earlier is almost dry, and then this is my polar bear that I did yesterday that is already dry. Here's a closer look at our magnets, just a view of the up close, so you can see that the polar bear is completely dry, llama's getting close, and the sloth is on its way. I hope you had a good time today. These are really simple projects that you can make at home that are really kind of cute, and they are a lot of fun to make. I hope you enjoyed crafting with us this fall. Stay tuned. Before long, we'll have postings up for the programs that we have coming this spring at the library, so you can again take and make your projects at home. Check out the webpage and Facebook page for more information coming soon. Have a great day.